Good morning. It is Friday, July 11th. Pretty early in the morning. I just dropped my son off for cross country. And one more camp. We're dropping two of our girls off to one more stinking camp today. And that's it. We're done with camps after this one. We are over halfway through the summer. In fact, we only have... hey, Callie, how you doing? We only have, I think, 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Definitely 2.5 weeks before I have to go to teacher meetings. Blah. Professional development, as if we're not professionally developed enough already. But fine. I'll do your dumb meetings. But in the meantime, we are going to do one kind of minor road trip, maybe a second one. But I think we'll be exhausted by the end of that. Then we're going to go visit some family out of state, which will be really nice. Bottom left corner of connections is my old friend ChatGPT. Okay, well, let's find out. Okay, well, let's do it. Let's dive in. Photoshop is my true friend. I love it. All right, well, create 4 groups of 4. I always joke, when I'm in a conversation with somebody and those classic, well, let's Google it and find out, right? I don't just go, oh, let's Google it. I go, let me go ask a friend. Meaning, let me go text a friend real quick. Meaning, I'm going to ask ChatGPT about it. Let's say connections. We got Uber, Swan, Love, Vile, Goose, Google. I see some company names. I also see some Gander, Fowl. Yeah, I see Fowl in there. Zoom, Yahoo, Siren, Maine. I'm gonna go Maine. Dodo, Photoshop, Folk, Goof, and Ofal. Okay, so maybe this is wrong, so I won't click it at first. I won't submit it. But Zoom has some AI integration. Google has AI integration. Photoshop has AI integration. And if you consider self-driving cars AI, then that's AI integration. Does Yahoo have its own AI? That was my thought, right? These are companies that have AI integration. But I don't know if they mean Uber or Yahoo. I'll come back to it. I will come back to it. How about Vile? Oh, they are vile, foul, but they're spelled wrong. Mean. Oh, it's mean. That's funny. I get it. Awful. Goof. Goose. These are like twisted evil words, but they're spelled a different way. Not synonyms. Homophones. Zoom, Love, Swan, Goose. Am I up in the night about that, or is that really what it is? Goof, Dodo. I don't know what this word means. Ofal. Oh, awful. Oh, it's awful. Vile, foul, mean, awful. That's got to be it. That's great. Homophones for synonyms for despicable, evil, foul, mean, awful, vile, but they're spelled the opposite way, the homophone way. That's funny. Hey, Gianmarco, how you doing? I'm available to the end of the stream until tomorrow. Nice. Awful means trash? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Okay, so swan is a bird. Dodo is a bird. Lovebird. Goose. The only one I don't agree with there is the lovebird. How about siren song, swan song, oh, love song. And then folk song. What? How is that the blue category? Okay, we're doing this in reverse rainbow order today, I guess. Am I wrong here? Is this just letters that have OO in them? Am I overthinking this? Oh, offal or awful is internal organs, like stuff you use for horror movie gore. Yeah. Maybe. Am I super overthinking this? These are just words that have OO in them? No, it's not even close. Okay. So, don't want to throw away guesses. I was thinking before, companies that have AI integration. Google, Zoom, and Photoshop. Well, Photoshop is more a program. Adobe is the overall arching company that's... Oh, metaphorically means trash. Okay. I've never used the word, so I have no idea. And I'm going to say Uber. Oh, how funny. Oh my gosh, I love that. It's nothing to do with AI integration. I am so overthinking that. Oh my gosh, did I overthink that. Companies that have become verbs. To Google something, to Photoshop something, to get an Uber is to Uber. Oh, I didn't know that's become a verb. I have gotten into 0 Uber cars. I have never ordered an Uber. I've never ordered an Uber. And to get on a Zoom is to Zoom someone. To Zoom. I don't know. Is that a verb? Maybe I'm not in like office culture enough. I've heard, hey, let's hop on a quick Zoom as a noun. But never like, I want to Zoom you. Am I wrong there? Anybody that works in an office can back this one up. I've never heard Zoom as a verb. I mean, like, of course, Zoom, like, wow, he zoomed by. Yeah, that one has not become a verb. That one is already a verb, and then the company came out. I don't know. Zoom, yeah, to zoom a camera, exactly, right. Zoom a camera, but they didn't become a verb. They were already verbs. I don't know. I'm going to poo-poo that one. And then to Uber. I don't know. I've never gotten an Uber car. I've never, done Lyft or whatever, ride sharing. I just have never done it. I think Zoom can be used in that as a verb in that context as you work in an office. Okay, well, Callie works in an office, and he can back that up. The other one that I don't love is Uber. Like, to Uber, is that a verb? I could see that, I guess, to Uber. It just seems like Zoom has already been a verb, to zoom by or to zoom in a camera. But to Zoom someone, I don't know about that one. Photoshop, absolutely. Oh my gosh, Photoshop is a verb. Sometimes I'll say that in my class. I'm like, oh, well, the clone stamp tool is the reason that Photoshop is a verb. And here I am with high schoolers, and they go, what's a verb? Yeah, the clone stamp. Oh, Uncle Larry came to the wedding. Let's Photoshop him out of all out of the photos. That is, I mean, that's the clone stamp. That's what it does. So Photoshop has gained this, this verb, this action word mentality. And then of course to Google something. Yeah, of course. I was totally up in the night about this. I thought these 4 were something that had AI integration, which they are. Uber with self-driving cars, that's AI. Photoshop with the, generative fill stuff. Google, of course, with Gemini. And then Zoom, I haven't been on a Zoom call in a while, but I believe in the taskbar at the bottom, there's AI integration. Yeah, the overall arching company is Adobe. Okay, so I take issue with this. I'm still harping on this. I found now a second way, I guess the third way, that I take issue with this yellow category here because Photoshop is not the company. Adobe is the company. I actually got invited one time to go see the headquarters of Adobe. Super cool. Super cool. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, Photoshop is not a company. Photoshop is a program made by the company Adobe. So, yeah. All right. I poo-pooed the entire yellow category. Sorry. Sorry, Wana. I'm downvoting that one. Yahoo, Goose, Goof, and Dodo. These are like goofballs, dumb people. Silly person. Yeah, there you go. Silly. Okay. So the only issue I take here, you guys can see it there, companies that have become verbs. Because number one, Photoshop is not a company. Photoshop is a program made by the Adobe company. It was made by, actually I do know this. It was made by, oh my gosh, his mind just escaped me. Two brothers, John Knoll and Thomas Knoll. Yeah, John and Thomas Knoll. It was a classic, like, you know, in mom's garage cooking up a floppy disk. Came out in 1991. Was it 1990 or 91? I think it was 91. On floppy disks, and they called it Adobe Photoshop. And since they, you know, have become an absolute empire. But Photoshop is not a company. Adobe is a company. Yeah, Zoom does have AI, doesn't it? Yeah. Check your facts, girl. Why not? Occasionally, you know, most of the time it's 100% spot on. This time I kind of poo-poo that one. And then Uber and then Zoom. The other thing that I take issue with is that Zoom, I just can't see myself using Zoom as a verb other than zoom a car or zoom in a camera, right? A car goes by and goes zoom. Those are verbs, but they didn't become a verb. They were already a verb, right? So I don't know. And then a silly person is a dodo, a goof, a goose, or a yahoo. That's actually the original term for yahoo. Someone who's a kook. They're a yahoo. They're up in the night. Like me. I'm a yahoo. All right, let's dive in. Let's play the mini. All right, so it's a good 5x5 with 2 squares plucked out. Helpful things. Helpful things. I don't know. Pale shade of yellowish white. Mauve is not what is yellow, not yellow. Okay, I don't know. Spiritual leader whose name translates to my teacher. Spiritual leader. I was going to say pastor, but pastor means shepherd, I think, doesn't it? All right, we'll come back to that one too. With 9 across, parallel bars. Like a staff of music. It's a question mark, so it's a gimmick answer. I get it. With 9 across, parallel bars. What are the bars that are parallel? It's not about gymnastics. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're batting 1,000 this morning, aren't we? Units of farmland. Acres. This is one of the few words in American English, at least, that we spell it R-E at the end. Acre. Dweller in the country where the Tigris and the Euphrates meet. I thought that was Egypt. But then dweller in the country would be Egyptian, and that's too long. I don't know. We'll come back. Maybe they don't. Maybe I'm missing that one. Do they not come together in the country of Egypt? Fix as glitchy software to patch. Longtime Alabama football coach Nick. I don't know. $1 million informally, maybe just a mil. Okay, helpful things. blank. It's got an S on the end, I bet. Maybe. Oh. Okay, but now I'm not so sure about this one, though. Because... look at this. Pale shade of yellowish white. We might call that cream. Wait, am I saying it wrong? Tigress? Tigress? I don't know. I just see the word tiger in it, so I say tigress. Tigress. Okay, I am... spiritual leader whose name translates to my teacher. Oh, rabbi. Right? I thought my teacher... no, I thought my rabbi was like my father. Because Rabbi, Rabboni... hang on a minute. Parallel bars. Okay, we're just not getting the gimmick, whatever it is. Helpful things, maybe aids? Help aid? Dweller in the country where the Tigris and Euphrates meet. I don't want to say it wrong. Parallel bars. Figured it out yet? No, I haven't. It'll come to me. Okay, this is either Iraqi. Wait a minute. This got maybe is equal because they're parallel. Equal. Okay, fix as a glitchy software. Debug. Hold on, we're getting it. Oh, parallel bars, equal sign. That's great. That's really funny. Okay, well, we had to revisit some of those a couple times, didn't we? I didn't get any of the across ones. And then finally I had some down ones that like... yeah, that took a minute, huh? Golly. Figured it out yet? Like an equation? Yeah. Balance the equation. All right. Oh, yeah, we had to revisit a bunch of those, didn't we? Helpful things. Aids, right? AIDS. Like a sleep aid or a study aid. Pale shade of yellowish white. Cream. Spiritual leader whose name translates to my teacher. Interesting. I was thinking... does rabbi mean my teacher? My teacher or my master? Right. It's a title of respect and honor given to Jewish teachers or religious leaders. I thought it was father, but maybe I was mixing that up. Does not directly translate. So what does Avi? Or Abba. Oh, duh. I knew that one. Abba. Duh. Okay, so it translates to my teacher or my master. That's smart. All right. Well, that's funny. I had that one totally crossed in my mind. I don't know very much Hebrew, but what I do know is wrong. With 9 across, parallel bars with 9 across, equal sign. Great. All right, down, one down. This clue is unit of farmland, acres. Acres. That's one of the few words that, you know, from British English over to American English, we kept the R-E. Like theater is, you know, theater with an R-E at the end. No, we have it E-R. Theater. That strong American R sound. Theater. Yeah, unit of farmland, an acre. And dweller in the country where the Tigris and Euphrates meet, Iraqi. Yep. That's actually, again, one of the few words in English that the Q does not follow by a U. So, a couple little exceptions here and there, huh? Fix as glitchy software. Debug. Longtime Alabama football coach Nick Saban. Okay. I don't know that name. I don't know sports people. $1 million informally you might refer to as a mill. Wow, you earned a cool mill. Wouldn't that be fun if $1 million just dropped into my lap? I would love that. I would do smart things with it, by the way. If you're thinking, gosh, I want to give $1 million to this guy, but I don't know if he's going to do good things with it. I would. I really would. I would, either put it towards a house or, invest it and then live off the dividends. You could be real smart with this. You could be real smart. I would do smart things. So Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or some rich person, if you're watching, if you want to gift me $1 million, like it said in the crossword puzzle here, I would know what to do with a cool mill. All right, look at that. Congratulations to us, because we are on our 150-day streak. I did just realize, too, that, well, not just realize, we were talking about it yesterday, that in a couple days, maybe it is next week, actually. Soon, I'll have to look at the calendar again. My family, we are going to be out of the house, certainly, but for sure, I don't know how much internet connection we're going to have. So I'm like, ooh, I definitely won't have this setup that I have here. So I'm like, oh gosh, what are we going to do? I'll have to maybe screen capture or something. I don't know. We'll have to somehow do a daily live stream and keep it up and not lose our streaks. I don't know. We'll have to figure out what to do. So what do we play? What do we play? I'm thinking... How about grain? Whoa. Okay. Should we? Yes. I already know the answer. Yes, we should play another word. Another non-intersecting word. But what if we didn't? NRA. No, there's no NRA words. So there's blank RAN. Could be drank. Maybe let's come up with a non-intersecting word that has a D and a K in it, just to confirm. Desco. Desky. Desku. That sounds Japanese. Desku. Ooh, that's a word. Depot. Let's try that. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I was like, okay, if we get it on the second here, it could be blank RAN, drank, right? Past tense of drink. So let's try a D word, and there is a D, but it's not at the beginning. So it's blank RA. N can't go at the end, so what if it's here? And then what if this is here? Could be brand. Could be friend. Hey, I want you to meet a friend of mine. I'm gonna try brand. Is that insane? Let's try. Oh my gosh, yes! Yes, we got it on the third today. No way. That's awesome. That is super cool. Okay, happy 151 streak. We got it on the 3rd. We usually get it on the 4th, but today the Wordle deity looked upon us. Okay, look at that. Okay, so we started with grain. I used to start off with grain all the time. Like my first couple, I remember I used like grain. I'm trying to think of like before I had, like I ridded myself of go-to words. I used to use grain all the time. So we tried grain today, and it gave us an R and an A in the right place, and then an N somewhere. And it didn't start at the beginning, right? So I'm like, oh, let's guess it right now. So what if it goes in the 3rd? So what if it's drank? So I said, oh, let's come up with something that has a D in it to verify. I couldn't come up with something that had a D and a K as a non-intersecting word. But it gave us the D, and then it's in the wrong place, right? Which totally confirmed what I was thinking by showing me what it wasn't, right? It was not at the beginning. And so R-A-N-D, the only one I was coming up with at the top of my head was brand. And it was. To maintain your brand. Speaking of brands, right? We're talking about these brands. I guess that is... Wina could have said brands that have become verbs, because Photoshop is not a company. No, it's not a company. Adobe is the company. But Photoshop is a brand. I mean, throw it out there. Brands that have become verbs. Google something, Photoshop, right? To Photoshop something. I don't know. Just putting it out there. Putting it out there. You could have maybe said that was a brand. The heck is this luck for this guess? I know, right? The possibility of getting 2 greens and a yellow with a random thought of a word. That's what I do. Seriously. I mean, watch all my streams. I promise you, I do not look ahead of time. I don't ask people. I just clear my mind and then come up with some random 5-letter word and sort of just deal with the consequences. Is that a good idea? No. No, it's not a good idea. I don't recommend that. To come up with just sort of random 5-letter words, because then, I mean, you've seen it before. I come up with, a word, and there are not intersecting words. Maybe there's one intersecting word, but not a third, right? For making 15 letters, I can only, I have to double the E or something like I did yesterday. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Brand. Cool. Cool. Okay, and then Strands. I think most of us have played Strands before, but if you haven't, help me with this word search here. If you've already played it, just watch along. But if you haven't played it, if you see words hidden in this jumble that lead back to this theme, let me know. And they don't have to just go up and down, left and right. They can kind of snake around in any direction. Okay, it could be verse. Okay, all right. So that's a play on words. It could be verse, it could be worse, but they're saying it with a German accent. Could be verse. So verse could be like poetry. Maybe this could be words that are commonly used in poetry, or scripture verses. No, that's not how you spell simply. Knit. It could be verse. It's got to do something with writing for sure. Definitely not if in hard mode. Yeah. I know. I saw simp too. Isn't that funny? I haven't heard that word in a long time. I thought I saw the word chapter in there. It could be verse. Um, my trick of looking in corners is not really helping. Here's an ER. Neat. Okay, wait a minute. I see the word poetry. Tell me that's the span. Okay. That's the spangram, sports fans. What do we do with this information? I don't know. So it could be verse, poetry. Is this types of poetry? Right? Like a limerick? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe actually, though, because look, limerick. Yes, sir. Okay. What are other types of poetry then? Chad. We got Chad and Simp. What is this? Chad and Simp. Oh, come on. Think about it. Types of poetry. We've got limerick. We've got stanza. These are parts of verses of poetry. Stoic. Oh, why is my brain just off right now? Oh, wait. Haiku. I know that one. Haiku. I do know that. A limerick, haiku. Think Shakespeare. Sonnets. Yeah, okay. Thank you for the Shakespeare hint. Accio. Whoops. Acrostic. There it is. I was thinking acrostic had two C's. That's what was throwing me off there. Acrostic. So we've got 5 of the 8. That means there are 3 left. My mind is... My mind's playing tricks on me is what's happening. Eight letters, wrong word? Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I actually do love haiku. You know what limericks I absolutely love are the ones on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me on Saturday mornings. Oh my gosh, the listener limerick challenge. So funny. The team on Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me are so funny. I look forward to their show every day, every week. Listen to it on a Sunday morning in the car or something. I love it. Okay, is this embarrassing? Oh my gosh, I'm spelling it backwards. Thank you. Oh my gosh, Gianmarco, way to just way to spoon feed that one to me. An epic. A bard? Isn't it a bard? Bald. This is embarrassing. Okay, should I... is that terrible? Yeah, Millennium is backing me up here. Millenniumorphos. Hey, GN, how you doing? Old-timey music. Think old-timey music? I'm a drummer, consider solo career because his band sucks? What do you mean my band sucks? Oh, that's sad. Oh yeah, totally. That you're oh my gosh. Ballad. Man, in my quartet we play ballads all the time. Sweet slow dances. Yep, ballad. You are smart. I am not. There, elegy. Kind of like a eulogy, but it's an elegy. Oh my goodness. I actually have videos of my band on the channel if you want to listen to it. I have I right now I'm playing in two bands. I play in a big band. We actually had a practice last night. It was a blast. We had it's summer, right? So some people are on vacation and some people, want to enjoy their retirement or whatever. And for whatever reason, we've had less people coming to practice. And then last night, we had pretty much a full band. We had an entire rhythm section, saxes, we had trumpets and trombones and everything. We had a full, rich sound, multiple parts from multiple, all the harmonies need to fit together and the sevenths and the chords and stuff. It sounded awesome to play with a full big band again. After a summer full of people on vacation and, whatever happens, people come less. But you're just making a haiku. I know, you got to fit the right amount of syllables in. I get it. Just, why live your life so negative, man? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I actually have some videos of both of my bands. The big band, we're called the Not So Big Band. And then also the trio, it used to be a trio, now it's a quartet. We have a bass player again, and we are called we're called Luminous. You're 575. Well, thank you. I'm honored, even though it tears down my solo career. Okay. Well, today's theme it could be verse, haiku. Right? An epic, a ballad, the ballad of songbirds and snakes, an elegy. These are different types of poetry. You can see the spangram there. A limerick. Love those limericks from Wait, Wait, Don't Tell Me. Gosh, that's so funny. And an acrostic. And then a sonnet. Nice. Oh, did you play? Jazzbone. Awesome. Yeah, I'm in a big band. We have usually we have a full trombone section. I've been a drummer since I was 15. Self-taught. I've never taken lessons or anything. And I've been in this big band for I think 10 years. And it has really helped me sort of gain confidence and better reading music. I know how to read music, but specifically drum music is a little strange. I was actually talking to one of the trumpet players. He came over to me as we were warming up, and he was like, "What does drum music look like?" And I was like, "Okay, well, first off, there's no treble clef." He's like, "What the heck? What?" All of the different things you would hit with your left hand, right hand, left foot, right foot, whatever, are all written out on the staff as if it was, the snare is the C line or the C space. The bass drum is usually marked as either the F space or the E line if it was treble clef. It's not treble clef. And you just sort of get used to it. It's almost like instead of seeing it as like, oh, I need to play a C note, that's a snare. You just sort of see it as like blocks and clusters. You know what that shape, that phrasing looks like, rather than taking it word for word. 99% of drum music is actually just little slash marks, meaning keep playing what you're playing. That's what it is. They'll write it in as the first line and then just write hash marks just to repeat. Okay, Gianmarco, do you have one? Let's see. Bold. Callie was known to be bold. His pranks, though, were often cold. He'd push, shove, and tease, then laugh with great ease, but ended up caught in the cold. I like that. I like that limerick. That's a good one. Well, right now, GM, we're playing Strands. That's funny. Aranja, are you kidding me? I didn't know you were on here. That's great. Welcome aboard. It's so good to see you. Nice. Okay. Good. All right. Then we're going to polish it off today with the letterbox puzzle. Actually, maybe look like that. Then we go like this. Awesome. Aranja, good to have you, man. Good to have you. All right. So we're going to try to solve in 5 words today. We're spanning across to connect the dots, right? We can't use 2 consecutively on the same side. We have to span across, right? So we've got an A, I, and E. Look at that. We've got all the vowels. A, E, I, O, U. Yeah. Not even Y, though. R, T, and K. L, U, and M. H, O, and B. All right. So there's no C to accompany the K. There's no S. We do have all the vowels, though. So if you guys see any that stick out, let me know. What could go with the H? Oh, boy. Because there's not an S. Well, there's a TH. We could do TH. Like thrombosis. I'll leave for 5 minutes and this happens. I know. Leave it to us. We come back and Callie's all about that. Oh, it's funny. The way they didn't let me spell trebuchet. Wait a minute. Can you spell trebuchet? Hold on. Oh, dang it. TR. That's absolutely in there, though. There's no C. There's no C for trebuchet. Oh, that'd be a good word. That would be a great word. All right, play nice, guys. I do appreciate the limerick, though. It was like a retaliation limerick for your haiku. I love a good limerick. I really do. Okay, maybe we don't start with the TH. Maybe we put it in a word somewhere. Oh, EA. I can't do EA because they're on the same side. Someone that milks a cow is a milker. I can't play robot. I was going to play robot. That's funny. Can't do that. Ruth. Because Ruth is the opposite of ruthless. My daughter, a couple days ago, she was like, wait, if someone can be ruthless, then what is Ruth? And there is actually a word for it. I think it's like compassion, charity towards people. But we don't use that word because it's a name, right? It's kind of weird to use someone's name like that. Though I do also know people named Charity and, things like that. So Ruth is actually a word. We just don't use it hardly ever. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're going to play halal, which is milk halal? I don't know. We're putting those two in the same puzzle. Let's see. And then I was hoping to play L-O-B, lob, but of course O and B are on the same side, so I can't do that. Oh, how about loom? Lom, Bosch and Lom. That's a proper name. Can't do that. Man, if O and B... I really want to make this work. Just one word right here. Starts with an L, has an O and a B in it, but they can't be consecutive. How about lore? And then... There we go. Ember. All right, that does it. That does it. We can play it in 5. If it says play in 5, I don't mind playing in 5. Sometimes you get, 1 under par, 2 under par. That's fine. That's fine. But right now, I'm just happy to finish that puzzle. It was, 3 days ago, 2 days ago, that it took me, oh my gosh, like a half hour just staring at the puzzle. And I was like, what the heck do these letters even mean? I couldn't make words for the life of me. And then I finally came up with something that worked. And, everyone had left. It was like, come on, we're sick of staring at you doing this puzzle. Come on, just do the puzzle. It was funny. But today, we just got it done. All right. Yesterday's puzzle, if you were playing yesterday, flexing and grouch would have done it efficiently. Flexing. What did we do? I didn't even write anything down yesterday. We just... Leroy Jenkins, the whole thing. All right, so letterboxed. We had to do it in 5, and we did it in 5. Someone that milks a cow is a milker. And then the R led to Ruth. And then the H for halal, right? It's like blessed and approved for Muslims to eat. Let's see. The L led to lore. And then the E for ember. Ember. Awesome. Cool. Well, if you like what you see, give it a like. Consider subscribing. We're going to do the recap. We're just going to look at everything that we did, including the yellow category that I poo-pooed today. If I started with broth, maybe. Let's look. B-R-O-T-H. And then the H for... I don't know. Where would the H take me? Hulk? No, Hulk. You can play L-U-L. I don't know. That's an interesting idea. It's what I love about it is that, with the letterbox, there's not just one answer. You could go a multitude of different pathways to do the same puzzle, right? And if you can do it in under 5, like they say, then your answer is just as great as somebody else's. I love that. If I started with broth, I needed a new word that had a K in it. Yeah. I was nervous about getting rid of that K without having a C attached to it. You know, you think of truck or, all the different words that have a CK, but K by itself is a little more tricky. You can play kite. Look, Kite. All right, let's recap. Let's do it. Homophone. See, we nearly did this in reverse rainbow order today. Homophones for synonyms for despicable, evil, right? Foul, mean, awful, vile. It's funny. And then the blue category, kinds of songs, right? Oh, speaking of poetry and stuff, right? We got ballads. We've got, different sonnets and stuff. Okay, well, here's kinds of songs, right? We've got a folk song, love song, a siren song, and a swan song. And then companies that have become verbs. This one I kind of put my foot down on. I don't agree with this one. Companies. The number one, because Photoshop is not a company. Photoshop is an app. It's a program. It was developed in 1990, 91 by Thomas Knoll and John Knoll in their mom's garage. It was on floppy disk, and it was called Adobe Photoshop. The company became Adobe, and then Photoshop is their program. So if you want to say a brand, that's fine. Brands that have become verbs. I'm going to Photoshop somebody out of a picture or whatever. Using the clone stamp tool. There's some awesome tools. There are hundreds and hundreds of tools. Some that do the same thing, just one does it one way, one does it the other way. You can be destructive or non-destructive. I could talk about Photoshop for hours. I love it. I'm a photography teacher, right? Here I am, in the middle of summer, so I get to play puzzles in the morning with you. But during the school year, of course, I have to do it after I do my real job, which is teaching. And I teach photography, video, and TV broadcasts. So Photoshop, I could literally talk for hours about Photoshop. In fact, I didn't even tell you this. I had those teacher summer conferences actually a full month ago. Oh, wow, time flies. But I recertified for Photoshop and Premiere Pro through Adobe, my Certiport tests. So yeah, I'm actually certified in those. It's pretty cool. I should put a little badge by my name. That's funny. Okay, I will. You can Google something. You can Uber. You can get an Uber. I don't know if that one's a stretch. The other one I poo-poo is Zoom, because Zoom was already a verb, right? The car zoomed by. That's a verb. It didn't become a verb because of the company. It's already a verb. So maybe if they had said like brands that are verbs, brands that are not have become verbs, brands that are verbs, brands that are also verbs. There you go. That's what I would say. Brands that are also verbs. Then I would agree with this. To Google something, to Photoshop someone out of a picture, to Uber and to Zoom. Okay, fine. I'm splitting hairs. I know. I'm sorry. And then finally, the green one, a silly person is a dodo, a goof, a goose, or a Yahoo. And no, I did not fall into the red herring of seeing Yahoo and Google in the same. Look, I just fired away. I did it. It's funny. Okay, well, good. The mini took me a minute. I had to go through the across clues more than once without any answers before it actually made sense. So helpful things: AIDS, pale shade of yellowish white. Maybe I could have gotten that one on the first try. My brain was turned off at that point. Cream, right? A creamy yellow white. Spiritual leader whose name translates to my teacher, my master, rabbi. With 9 across, parallel bars, equal sign. I love that. Always look out for those ones that have a question mark. It means it's a funny gimmick answer. I love that. Units of farmland, acres. One of the few times that here in American English we kept the R-E, theater, R-E or E-R. Dweller in the country where the Tigris or Tigris and Euphrates meet. Who was it? I think it was John Marco. Was very careful to remind me that it was Tigris, not Tigris. I just see the word tiger in there. I don't know. I'm crazy. Fix is glitchy software. Debug. Longtime Alabama football coach Nick Saban. I don't watch sports enough to know that. So good on you for knowing that. If you knew that one. And then $1 million informally. You might refer to it as a cool mill, which my offer is still on the table. If you want to gift me $1 million, I will do good things with it. Okay, I will not squander it. I will not waste it. I will invest it. I will do smart things with it. Okay, I just need it. Okay, I don't have that. So if you wanted to gift that to me, that'd be great. All right, we got super lucky on the Wordle today. I was just mentioning that I used to play grain all the time as my first word, my go-to word. I don't have a go-to word anymore. I just keep coming up with different 5-letter words, and a lot of times it really, really pays off because I'm exactly here. I got two greens, right? The R and the A in the correct place, and then the N somewhere. And then I thought, oh my gosh, what if I got it right here? So I tried N-R-A, and that's there's no words that do that. So I thought, okay, what if it's blank R-A-N, because it has to go on the fourth, I guess. So I thought drank. So I was trying to think of a word that had, instead of just guessing drank, I say, well, what if I came up with a word that didn't intersect with that word? So 10 individual individual letters that don't use any of those. And I came up with depot. And from depot, the D was not in the correct place, like drank, so it was not drank. And I'm like, okay, well, if it's R-A-N in the middle, then it's R-A-N-D. So the only word I could think of that was like that was brand. Brand. So going back to the connections, right? How about brands that have become verbs? Brands that are also verbs. Brand. Cool. Strands puzzle was fun today. Oh my gosh. I was having a hard time coming up with different words for poetry. Yes, there's an epic. There's a haiku. There's the limerick. Man, I love limericks. Broth, hiker, rural, and lame. Oh, great one. Nice. Very nice. That's a great way to do it. Elegy, ballad. Ballad is music, too. And then acrostic, right? It was more like a visual thing. And a sonnet. Different kinds of poetry. Cool. Letterbox. And Aranha solved it as broth, hiker, rural, and lame. Awesome. Mine was a little more stumble over your feet kind of figure it out. But we figured it out, right? If you get it, you get it. It started with milker. Someone that milks cows is a milker. Ruth, and then the H led to halal, something that is approved for Islam. Lore, and then the E led to ember. Nice. Awesome. Well, thanks for an awesome day. Thanks for a great set of puzzles. Thanks for a fun chat. Look how many fun people are on here today. I love it. Thanks for stopping in, you guys. And if you want to see me do this every day, like this video, consider subscribing, and I'll come right into your feed every time we go live. So, yeah, you guys are awesome. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.